Let's talk about Resident Alien, the sci-fi TV series that is based off the Resident Alien comic series. And this show is amazing. The first season just ended. The finale aired last night. I literally just finished watching it like 2 minutes ago. And this show is awesome. Like I'm going into this. I went into this fresh. I didn't know anything about the comic series. I just saw that, like, hey, it's Alan Tudyk, and I like him. You know, he's in some cool stuff, and I was like, Aliens, cool. Let's watch it. And then I did, and I just fell in love with this show. This show is just so amazing. So we're gonna be talking about the full season here, the full first season. So if you haven't seen it yet, we are gonna be going into spoilers a bit here. So definitely go check out this series. It's streaming on the Sci-Fi app. So if you haven't seen it, you need to watch this because this show is so good. I just cannot say enough good things about it. So, yeah, let's get into this. So this series, of course, is all about Harry, or whatever his real name is, you know, whatever he said that was, the alien that has come to Earth, and his whole thing is that he has to get his device to destroy all the humans and kill all of them. But then things go wrong, he loses his device, and now he has to live amongst the humans in patience. And just the way they developed all these characters was just so amazing, specifically with Harry. Again, Alan Tudyk, he was the reason I decided to watch this show, because I love some of his previous work, like he was K2SO and Solo, A Star Wars Story. I loved him as Mr. Nobody in Doom Patrol Season 1. He voices the Joker in the Harley Quinn animated series. So I love him as an actor, and I was really excited to see what he was going to do with this series. And he was just hilarious. Like, this whole character, really the whole show was just hilarious. That's one of the things I loved about the show, is just how it blended so many genres together, because it really was so hilarious at parts. And that was one of the biggest parts about it, is that it is a comedy, but then you've also got the mystery, the romance, the horror, the action, the sci-fi elements with all the aliens and stuff. It was just awesome how they mixed all of this stuff together, and it all just blended so well. It didn't feel weird. It just felt like that's the way it should be, and it was amazing. And I love how one of the biggest parts about Harry in this season is, as the season went along, the more time he spent on Earth, the more time he spent time with his people like Asta and Darcy and all these different people, he became more human. And that was something you could tell was obviously going to happen from the start. But I love how they did it, how they developed it. And then, like, even towards the end, when he was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And then in the finale, Asta was, of course, mad at him because she found out that he literally murdered the real Harry Vanderspiegel. So then she was like, you're not my friend. And then that was a huge turning point for him, because then that was when he realized, like, well, if she's not really my friend, then what's the point of keeping these humans alive? I should kill them now anyway. So I really loved that. I really loved all those elements of that, and how you saw that develop throughout the season, and just also how Harry lived amongst the humans and tried to adapt as a human with his new form, and how like it showed him watching what was it? It was some kind of crime show. I forgot what it was called. Law and Order. Yeah, Law and Order. How he was watching that to learn English and stuff, and then how, like, he was just super awkward and stuff, like whenever he laughed or something, or whenever he told a joke, and it was, I mean, his laugh was creepy. And everybody thought it was weird, but that's how he thought people laugh. So I thought that was hilarious. That was all amazing. And also the season-long story. There were actually multiple season-long stories here. Probably the big one at the beginning was the death of Sam. And that's one thing that I was like, because they didn't really develop that too much. It was focused on for the first couple episodes, and then it kind of disappeared in the background after that. And then in the penultimate episode, that was when they obviously found out that the person that murdered Sam was his wife, and you saw that coming, but at least they gave us an answer for that, so that was cool. We also had stuff like obviously Harry trying to find his device so that he can go back to his home planet and kill all the humans and everything, and his journey on trying to do that. You also have these super top secret military spy people that were trying to get Harry. And I love how at the end they actually kidnapped the new doctor instead of Harry, because Max, he said that it was the town doctor, and then they got the new guy instead. So that's one of the things I also like seeing. I love seeing Harry as the town doctor, and I was a little disappointed when he left and when the new doctor came in. But hopefully, because the new doctor has now been kidnapped, hopefully that means that Harry will go back to being the town doctor. But we'll talk about that more later when we talk about how this season ended and how it sets up for season 2. The characters in this season, other than Harry himself, were great. I love how, you have so many characters here in this series, and usually that's a problem, but here they balance it out so well. And, even though every character doesn't have a huge role in every episode, they each get their time to shine, and they each had their little arcs. Like, you had Darcy, how you had her backstory with the skiing thing and her accident, and now she's super depressed and drinking all the time, and she's just got to find her place. You have Asta with her baby, and Jimmy and all that mess with Jay, and how at the end she kind of got a little closure with her father when they sent his truck out to the traffic. You have, of course, the sheriff and Deputy Liv. I love Deputy Liv. She was a great character, and she had a great arc here. She just wanted respect from the sheriff, and she fought for it, and she got it. And she also got her espresso machine, so well done there. We also had the mayor, and he had his arc as well, trying to fix his marriage with his wife. Plus, you had the relationships with Max and his friend. I forgot her name. That's a big oopsie. But I love their relationship. I love how they started off completely against Harry, and they're like, oh, there's an alien and everything, and it was kind of like an arch rivalry between Harry and Max, but then they ended up calling it a truce, and they decided to work together and everything. I thought that was awesome. Really, everything about this show was amazing. The only part that I found a little boring was with, the military soldier spy stuff with, those two people that were trying to go after Harry. Those parts I found a little boring, but, it's part of it. It had to be there. But that was Season 1. Season 1 was amazing. I absolutely loved it. And, of course, we did get some setup for Season 2, because the way this season ended was Harry, of course, going back full-on alien form and walking away and going back to his home planet. He takes off in his spaceship. He has the device. He wants to dispose of it because now he and Asta are friends again. But then he goes off, and he's going off to space. And it's like, oh, why is he going off to space? Now he's leaving. What's going to happen for Season 2? And then all of a sudden, Max pops out. So that's the big setup for Season 2. So Max is there with Harry in his spaceship. So I'm interested to see if it's going to be something where, Harry actually takes Max back to his home planet, or if he just takes him straight back to Earth. And I think it'd be interesting. An interesting storyline would be maybe if Harry does go back to his old planet, but then they reject him, or they forgot about him, or they thought he was dead, or he's just not wanted there anymore, and then he ends up going back to Earth. I think that'd be a great way of continuing that story, because I want to see him back on Earth with the rest of the squad and everything. So hopefully we see something like that. And also, honestly, if Harry took Max to his home planet, that'd just be hilarious, seeing him interact with all the stuff going on there. So yeah, guys, Resident Alien, I love this show. This show is amazing. I can't wait for Season 2. No idea when it's coming out, but I'm definitely excited for it. And I just can't wait to see more of the series. I absolutely loved it. Can't say enough good things about it. But guys, of course, let me know your thoughts on this Season 1 in the comments below. All your theories for Season 2, where that cliffhanger could lead. And thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the movie life.